Sometimes the most profound truths are hiding in the simplest places. Today, we're going to dive into the core principles of teamwork in community, and we're going to do it by exploring a chapter from, believe it or not, a grade 4 textbook. So let's get into it. So right off the bat, we're greeted with this beautiful, vibrant illustration. It just radiates this feeling of community and togetherness, And it's paired with the very first line of a poem that really sets the stage for everything we're about to unpack. This isn't just a picture, it's a whole mood. And here are those opening lines. It's so direct, isn't it? The message is just crystal clear. Our strength doesn't just come from ourselves, but from the support we give to each other and the support we get back. This idea that mutual support is the foundation of resilience, that's the central theme we're going to keep coming back to. Okay, so let's start by digging into that core idea of standing together. What does that actually look like, and how does that really make a team powerful? Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because it builds on that first idea. It's not just about quietly having each other's backs. The poem really emphasizes this active, joyful energy, the shouting, the singing. It suggests that a huge part of teamwork is that shared enthusiasm, that positive vibe that makes a group truly believe it can overcome anything. So, let's move on. We're going to go from the abstract idea of a team to the very personal connections that hold the whole thing together. This is where it gets real. The textbook asks this really simple but powerful question. Think about it for a second. That feeling of defeat, it's universal. We've all been there. By making us connect with that specific emotion, the lesson is setting us up for a much deeper point about what really matters on a team. This image, it just captures that moment of connection, of communication. Doesn't matter if it's before a win or after a loss, that connection is what's key. The book is using this moment of potential disappointment to pivot to a much more lasting lesson.
And this is the crucial point. The outcome, winning, losing, that stuff is temporary. What lasts is the shared experience and the trust you build along the way. And this isn't just about sports. Think about a project at work that doesn't go as planned. The real value isn't always the final result. It's the strong, resilient team and the trust you've built. That's what you carry forward into the next thing. That's the real prize.
And the challenge just keeps coming. After establishing that trust is everything, the book hits us with a classic leadership problem. And this isn't just a what-if scenario. This is the reality of being on any team. How do you handle conflict from the inside? It forces you to think not just as a member, but as a unifier.
Now here's where it gets really fascinating. Our source material shows us that this whole teamwork thing, it's not just a human concept. These principles are baked into the natural world. It's pretty much a fundamental law of survival.
This is such a classic and perfect metaphor, right? You can snap a single stick, no problem. But when you bundle a bunch of them together, they become incredibly strong, incredibly resilient. Nature itself teaches this lesson of collective strength.
And let's look at two fantastic examples right from the text. Honeybees and ants. They are the absolute masters of collaboration. They're not just living near each other. They're operating as superorganisms, using these complex communication systems for the good of the entire colony. It's selfless teamwork on a massive scale.
Okay, let's just stop and appreciate the waggle dance for a minute. This isn't just some random movement. It is a precise, coded message that tells other bees the exact direction to fly in relation to the sun and the exact distance based on how long the dance lasts. It's a pure act of sharing information for the group, making sure the whole hive survives. It's basically nature's version of a perfect, data-driven strategy meeting, and every single member executes it flawlessly. It's an incredible reminder that clear, selfless communication is the engine of any successful group. So we've gone from the individual to the team and even to the natural world. Let's zoom out one more time and apply these principles to the biggest team most of us are a part of every single day, our community. This map from the textbook, it's not just a drawing of streets and buildings. You have to see it as a diagram of a complex, interconnected system. The school, the hospital, the post office, the park. Each part has a specific job, but they all rely on each other to create a community that actually works. And this just illustrates the point brilliantly. Look at the language here. In front of, near, behind, between. It's all about relationships. The textbook is showing us that a community isn't just a list of places. It's a living network that's defined by how its parts connect and interact. A successful city or even a successful company, it works the same way. It's not about the individual departments, it's about how they all support each other in one big system. And this brings us full circle. After exploring teamwork in ourselves, in nature, and in our communities, the lesson turns the focus right back on us and asks us to really internalize and express what we've learned. So the book ends with this wonderfully simple yet really profound activity. By cutting out a folded piece of paper like this, you don't create one person, you create a whole chain of people holding hands. It's a tangible, physical representation of the core message. We are all connected. And so we end with this question. What this simple grade 4 lesson reminds us is that teamwork isn't just about big projects or winning games. It's in the way we communicate, the trust we build, and the communities we form. It's asking us to think about how we, as individuals, contribute to that chain. So what does togetherness mean to you?